now a graphic designer. I build stuff mostly for the web, and most of the projects start like this with a blank screen, and pretty much you get out of it whatever you put into it. So however many hours you put into it. But my biggest challenge is I have a beautiful wife and 2 awesome kids, and for some reason they like hanging out with me. So that's, I've got to figure out how do I balance this with that. And so I'm going to talk about work-life balance. I have major beef with the term work-life balance because it implies that everything on this side is one thing and everything on that side is another thing. Well, if you're doing something that you love, it's not like that. They're not separate. You don't stop living between the hours of whatever it is you go in and come home, and you also don't stop being an employee when you go home. So you've got to figure out how to balance it. And I would say that instead of that my life looks a lot more like this, and so that's a major challenge. And you'll notice swim diapers are really important at this point in our life. There's only so much chlorine can do. So the other thing is, the thing about work-life balance is that it implies that, you know, if you're spending too much time at work, then the other suffers. Or if you're spending too much time with your family, then that suffers. But really, it's a lot more like this. If one is broken, usually the other's broken. If you're spending too much time at work, then there's something wrong about work. If you're not spending enough time. So I say I hate work-life balance, first off. So what do you do? What do I do? And there are a lot of books out there that have some wisdom in them, but they also have a lot of bullshit because, you know, shit happens. So how do you deal with that? And if there's one thing that I've learned from Chris Farley, it's that one size does not fit all. So don't spend too much time comparing yourselves to others, because, you know, people have different families, they have different jobs, they have different personalities, and you can't spend too much time doing that. You've got to find what works for you. So here are some guidelines that I've found in my life. And first off, success does not necessarily mean success in life. I know a lot of successful people that I don't want to be on a bowling team with, or have Thanksgiving dinner. Here's an equation that I pieced together from old rock and roll songs. Basically, time is greater than or equal to money, not necessarily equal to money, and that money can't buy you happiness. So with that in mind, you need to protect your time. You need to find ways to protect your time. I'm an evening person, I'm a night owl, but I go to bed early and I get up early just so I have more time with my kids and I have less time during those valuable hours when my kids are at home. Also, learn to say no. Learn not to volunteer. You know, you got to learn to say no, so you're not building a slide of Chris Farley at like midnight when you should be sleeping. And this is a really important one too. Take care of yourself, because if you're not taking care of yourself, it's like on the plane where they say secure your mask first. If you're not taking care of yourself, then you're no good to anyone else. So you've got to do that first so that you can take care of others. And then the last thing is, the small things matter. You know, it's amazing how little of an effort it took for my father to do that one day, and me to remember it the rest of my life. So do those small things, and enjoy monkeys. You know, monkeys dancing, monkeys climbing trees, and hopefully not throwing poo at you. But it happens.